Good morning, guys. This is Stephanie, Lisa, and Cole. Hope you had a great 4th of July. And
Good morning, guys.
we
This
are
is
back
Stephanie,
with
Lisa, and Nicole.
advanced
Had a great
learning course
July, and
in Canvas.
we are back.
Lisa, I'm thinking some of y'all may need to edit or mute yourself. I can hear in the background. There we go. All right. Now, so thank you guys for joining us for Advanced Learners in Canvas. We're going to get started this morning with focusing on how to log in case some people did not actually take the beginner course. Do want to say a couple of things about the actual advanced course related to the other courses. So we did have two options for a beginner course, one in June and one in July. We had an intermediate course that is coming up in a couple of weeks. That is a continuation of the beginner. Advanced, we kind of thought it was, off by itself, and you really didn't need a connection with beginner or intermediate to take the advanced course. So that's why it is before intermediate. But understand, all of the courses that you sign up for, you have until August the 15th to complete them. So if you feel like that you need to take the intermediate and then go back and take advanced, it will be open for you to take it after intermediate, okay? So no worries about whether or not, should I take advanced now? You can wait and take that after your intermediate. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Rapid Identity, and you log in with Rapid Identity through your Cole, do you have the screen showing?
Should be coming over.
Okay. So logging into Rapid Identity, you actually are used to logging in here for PowerSchool or SchoolNet or any other icon that you see there. But you'll notice that you have two icons at the top. Just want to reiterate this because we've had a couple of people that actually went into the blue canvas. So we want to explain that. You notice that that one says NCDPI. That is related to the Department of Public Instruction, so we don't want to go into that one. We always want to focus on the LEA 780. That is the PSRC red canvas icon. That's where we want to be. And that way you'll be able to access the things that you need inside of our public school unit canvas platform. So once you select the red canvas button, it'll open up and take you into the courses that you are either you've created or you have been invited to. So actually, you should have received an email on Thursday morning with instructions as well as an invite through Canvas. So as we move down, we will go into the actual advanced course itself. And you'll see that there it's a yellow background for us. So we click on the Canvas LMS for advanced learners, which takes you here into your homepage area. You'll notice at the top of your page, you have some announcements at the top, and you may have already seen this, but announcements, your most recent, will be posted at the top. Do want to say this part, have had a few questions about announcements not showing up. You want to make sure under your settings button that once you create your announcement, a lot of people say that they can see the announcements under the word announcements, but they don't see it on their homepage. So make sure under your settings button, as you scroll down to the bottom, under more options, Click on More Options. There is some checks that you need to make sure that you have, especially the one that says Show Recent Announcements on Course Homepage. That has to be checked in order for you to see your announcements on the homepage or your students, okay? So I just wanted to clarify that part while we had you guys here. Now, that takes care of our announcements on the homepage. So once you're inside of your course itself, you always want to click Update Course Details. If you don't click that, that actually will not save it. So make sure you click that blue button. Back on your homepage, if you scroll down to the bottom of your homepage, for those that are new to the courses, you'll see at the bottom our contact information. If you need to get up with us, you can actually see our email addresses as well as our phone numbers to get in touch with us. So text, email, whatever you need to do in order to get your questions answered. Now, that takes care of our home page. Now let's take a look at our buttons over on the left-hand side. We're going to go into modules. The modules are where you go in and actually work on your assignments. So when we click on modules, the one we want to talk about is the one that actually talks about the first one on how to add people to a course. Now you'll notice in this actual Canvas course itself, it is for advanced learners. So you're not going to have a video for every module that you have here. There'll be some reading for you to do, or there'll be some type of video, but there's not going to be videos for every assignment or every module that you see here. So you do, inside of this course, you're going to learn how to add people to a course. You're going to learn how to, Cole, can you go back to modules, please? You're going to learn how to explore the advanced functions inside of the external tools. You're going to learn about Commons and how to import your courses, your modules, or your assignments inside of Commons, which is the repository of where you got the actual template in the basic course. You're actually going to learn how to work with PowerSchool in the fact of your PowerTeacher Pro, your Passback, looking at Speedgrader. And Speedgrader is actually a good app for you to use when you're grading. So that will actually take you through that process. You're also going to learn how to import a manually created course into your PowerSchool courses, because at that point you want to have the manual course exactly how you want it, and then you can push it into your PowerSchool courses. And at the bottom, you'll actually see, which is really good to know, the Badgr, how to set up Badgr inside of your Canvas courses so that you can actually present and give badges to your students, just like you're receiving badges for your courses as you complete those. So let's go back up to Module 1. We're going to talk about adding people. Now, inside of that actual module itself, you have a video on how to add people. You do have an assignment here, guys, of how do I add the people, but inside of your module, what you want to make sure that you are noticing is this is just showing you how to add people to your course. Now, when you actually have your PowerSchool courses connected on your dashboard, you will not have to add students to your course. And you technically won't add students to this manual course. This is just giving you the information on how to technically add them. So your assignment here would be to actually take a screenshot of your screen showing you as the teacher. So technically in this manually created course, you are not going to add any people into the course. This is just showing you how to actually add them if you need to. And Cole's going to talk to you about your actual taking a screenshot and what that would look like.
Good morning, everybody. So this is how we expect your screenshot to look. So under people, you have your roles. You would want to make sure that obviously you're under teacher roles. And you see here the three of us as teacher roles. So this is where you would actually take a screenshot. This is like what we want to see, the role teacher, and has yourself as the teacher role in your course. So let's go back to this module under advanced. And we're going to just make sure how everybody knows how to upload a screenshot. So I need to be in student view actually. So let me go to student view. So I'm going to go to student view. Now I'm inside of my modules. So here's my first assignment, how to add people to a course after you've watched the assignment video. So this helpful links. We try to put every avenue we could possibly think of for what device you might be using to take your screenshot, whether it be a Mac, an iPhone, an iPad, a Windows device, a Chromebook, or an Android device, because there are Canvas works in most browsers, and there are obviously Canvas apps for all the smartphone devices as well. So pick your device that you're using. If I just click here, how to take a screenshot on your Mac, we'll just show you here, it takes you to an article that shows you all the different ways you can capture a screen on a Mac, just as an example. Go back here, and how to take a screenshot on an iPad, which is very similar to how to take a screenshot on an iPhone. Some of the newer devices might have a slightly different format with different buttons, whether or not it has a home button, as the newer devices do not have home buttons, so it's the volume button with the power button to take those screenshots. And then here you see if a device has a home button, it would be the power button and the home button, which is the traditional way to do it on an iOS device. So once you've taken your screenshot, we want to submit our assignment. So in the upper right hand corner, that's where your blue submit assignment button is going to always be. So we hit blue submit assignment button. Now if we scroll down, and I'm going to wait a second for the image to catch up, because as we've explained before in some of our videos, there's a slight delay, being that we are all working remotely between what is happening on the screen. So you have a new file upload section, and you see there is a choose file. So I would click choose file. Now this part, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see on my computer because it just doesn't work as part of a screen sharing option. But whether this is a Windows computer or a Mac device or a Chrome device, potentially even, you're going to have some sort of file explorer pop up, and it's whatever the native file explorer is for your computer, to where you can scroll and select that screenshot. So I'm going to select a screenshot that I took earlier today. Hit choose. And you're going to notice now the file name has changed there in just a second, and it's going to show my screenshot file name. And you can add as many screenshots as you need. Obviously, one should be sufficient for this. A comment is not necessarily needed with this screenshot because we're not asking you to explain anything with this screenshot. So all you have to do is hit the blue submit assignment button. And the page should reload, and how you know it was successful, up in the top right hand corner, that blue submit assignment is now going to say resubmit assignment, because you've already submitted it once. But if you say, oh, I messed up, I submitted the wrong screenshot or the wrong picture file by mistake, All you need to do is go up there and hit the resubmit assignment and follow those same steps as we just discussed, and you can move forward. And down at the bottom, again, just more information for you. As you scroll down, you'll see that you have a check mark that says it was submitted at the date and time, and you can see submission details and then download a copy of the submission should you need it. Obviously, being this was a screenshot you just submitted, you should already have a copy of it. We did get some questions previously about people that were having a hard time if they took a screenshot on their cell phone, but how to get the screenshot from their cell phone, or took a picture with their cell phone of their computer screen, how to get it to their computer to resubmit it. You can always email a picture file to yourself if you're doing it that way, and then download it to your particular device and then upload it using the steps we just discussed here if you're having difficulty. But that's your basic steps here on how to submit a screenshot. And for any assignment that we ask for a file submission, it will actually be the exact same steps. We're just specifically asking you for a screenshot, but if we ever asked you to submit a file, it would be the same exact steps. So I'm going to leave student view. And I'm just going to go back to our home section, or I'll go back to modules. And I'll turn it back over to Stephanie or Lisa as we move forward.
Hi, everybody. It's Lisa. One of the great questions that have come through on the chat was, can you use the helpful links that we put in that assignment for your students as well? For high school students, it works great because they can read and they're pretty digital savvy themselves. So absolutely, especially if they have different devices and such. For middle school and for elementary school, you may have to walk through some of those things with them ahead of time. So just keep that in mind. So Cole, can you click on the assignment for how to add people to a course, just so that they can see what I'm talking about on the screen? So those helpful links that sit there, that take a screenshot and such from what Cole has gone through, yes, you can copy and paste those links and utilize them for yourself with your students. It's a great way for them to start learning how to submit things and items on the Canvas course themselves. So if that works for you and that's something that you want them to utilize in your course, yes, feel free and take whatever we have offered and put on here and just modify it to fit for your students. Moving forward, if you go back onto the home screen for me, please. On the home screen, Cole, I think it's for us, it's going to be at the very bottom. I just want to show them where to find the button for student view, just based on how our screen is set up.
Yeah, and it will move around based on the size of your screen, especially the text sizing.
So there's student view. It's with a little bit of glasses. It's on the gray buttons. Right underneath or in between new announcement and view course analytics. So when you're in teacher view in your own manually created course, if your screen is small like it is for us today, it will be at the bottom called student view. And that allows you to see what the student sees. It's a really useful tool for students, for you and students to troubleshoot what's going on. So as you're building your manually created course and you're starting to dive into different components in the advanced course set here for you, you can utilize student view so you can always see, is it published? Are they having a problem? Can they see it? As well as, is it working? Is my link I put in there working? Is my embed code that I have in there working correctly? Is the quiz that I'm setting up, how does it look? What does it look like? And it helps you as the teacher know what's going on and seeing. So for instance, this is what you see when you log into Canvas for this particular course as our students. And inside here, it shows, see the 4 buttons on the left-hand side? Home, announcement, module, badges. As a student, those are the only 4 things on that toolbar you see. When Cole comes out of student view, As a teacher, as you will then build, or as you continue to build your manually created course, you'll go ahead and see the plethora or the many varieties of different buttons that you have on that left-hand side. So on that left-hand side, you have many more things to consider to use. Okay? And so as you go through your different modules in advance, take note of those different areas that you have and how you can make your manually created course your overall template of what you would like. So that when you import export into the PowerSchool courses in the fall, you then have a well-polished manually created course, and then you're just being able to import export into those PowerSchool courses where your students already live. And then you can use it from semester to semester, or if you're year round, you can use it from one year to the next with this very little modification. Before we leave our Google and YouTube Live link, I want to make sure that you're aware of the attendance sheet that is there. I'm going to go ahead and put that form in the chat in just a few minutes. And so that you guys can take the time to fill it out. But if you have any particular questions, we're watching the chat so that if you have questions or concerns that we can go ahead and do. On the screen in front of you, Cole has pulled up in the attendance or in the announcement the actual link for the attendance sitting right there so that you know where to find it on Thursday. But here in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and push it right in right now for you so that you can then see it.
Lisa, I want to say one thing about Cami. For those who actually go in and see it as an external tool, we have been working with Cami, actually the guys from New Zealand. So we've been on Google Meets with him trying to do some connection in getting that external tool to work the way we want it to. So when you see that about Cami, just know that that is a process we're still working on.
If you have any, oh, sorry, go ahead, Cole.
No, good.
If you have any questions or anything that you would like to ask, please go ahead and put them inside the chat so we can handle them for you and answer them quickly for you. Once you fill out that attendance form, you are more than welcome to exit the YouTube. We'll just stay on just for a few more minutes if we have any additional questions. And the actual YouTube live stream is recorded, and we'll make sure that link is provided inside the announcement area. So to split a screen is not that complicated. It's a matter of just maneuvering a tab to a different window. Cole, can we just go ahead and show them by sharing the screen? We'll try. If not, I can just explain. Or if you just put. Okay.
While you guys are working on that, I'm gonna answer the question Miss Tamara Smith has about I've completed the course, but it won't let me get my badge. It says I have prerequisites. The thing about the staff development completion form as well as the certificate and the badge is that you have to complete everything in the modules or you're not going to receive those things. So like for the staff evaluation form, that's the first thing in your line of completing everything. So what happens is you have to complete everything as your prerequisites and your requirements inside of your module. So make sure that you don't have a blue button in any of your assignments that says submit, because that means you have not done what is actually required of you in one of the assignments or the video sections. As far as your certificate, I get an email with a PDF just like you do. So every time a certificate goes out, we actually get a duplicate of that certificate. So if you're saying you're not receiving it, then you need to make sure go back through your modules as well as your badge. Make sure that you do open it up to view it, because that is a requirement. Otherwise, as far as your badge, Miss Smith, did it allow you to get your certificate? Because I don't remember it pushing a certificate to me for your name. Okay. Then what I can do is we'll go in and look at the actual student view of your account and see what part, and I'll email you.
Okay, if we're ready, I can show them how to possibly do a split screen view with just two different windows. So my desktop is going to look vastly different than most people's desktop because we'll pull it up here as I'm running the software to capture this and send it to YouTube. You're going to see a lot of stuff open here and it's going to look kind of crazy. Now this is a Mac. With a Mac with a trackpad, you can do 3-finger up swipe, and it's probably not going to capture that. Okay, it did. That's just a quick way for me to swipe 3 fingers up on a Mac and quickly see every window that I'm working with. But if you're just trying to split screen something, obviously the larger screen you have at your disposal, the better. This is a 27-inch iMac that I have in my office at home. Let me hide this OBS software if I can. So this is my Canvas window, and this is the YouTube live stream window here that's coming up. And it's honestly as simple as just having 2 separate windows that you move around. Here's a separate window that I have, and it's just going to rely on you resizing windows. You can drag and drop appropriately by a corner, and it's going to work a little different on different systems. Again, this is Mac OS. Windows will look slightly different and work slightly different. Windows 10 has a snapping feature that if you grab a window and put it in the upper left and then grab another window and put it in the upper right, it will kind of snap and do a split screen automatically. I don't have a Windows machine here at home, and it's not how we're leveraging producing these meetings, so I just don't have access to show you that.
Cole, can
Yes.
you, on the Canvas screen that you have up on the left, can you just click and drag the dashboard tab out so they can see how they can pull a tab out of a window and
Yes.
create a split screen?
So this is a Safari window, but the feature works the same as in, I have a Chrome window on the right, a Safari window on the left, just to try to separate some content. And all Lisa is referring to is I have multiple tabs here that I can switch back and forth between. If I just simply grab and pull one, on a Mac, you'll see how it minimizes the little window that I can then choose what I'm going to do with it. And I just let it go, and it opens it in a completely different window that I can then move around. And if I'm trying to do a full split screen, then basically that is what you're asking, is just have one window open as large as you can on the left, one window open as large as you can on the right. And remember, you can use the kind of hotkeys, command plus or minus, to blow text up or make it smaller or larger. That's the best thing that we can try to do to explain to you how to have a video open on one side of the screen and watch it, and then have Canvas open on another side of the screen and try to follow along with these videos. Again, the larger screen you have, the better. If you're using something like a 13 or 15-inch laptop screen, it might be a little difficult. Again, this is a 27-inch screen, so it's quite large to allow me to have a lot of flexibility to do stuff like that. Let me go back to my OBS software here. So hopefully that answered the question. Let's pull up and see what other questions we may have.
Miss Christine, I didn't type in your response to your question because I want to actually talk about that. So you're asking in the video of adding people, it shows that you only add one person at a time. Is there a way to add multiple names? Goodness, yes. Because we have, that's exactly what we do whenever we have to add people to our course. So when we have like 400 names that we have to add, we technically go to our spreadsheet and we filter for those email addresses. We grab a hold of those email addresses and you can paste them inside of that box. So yes, you can do multiple names at a time, UID numbers. I like to use the email address when I'm actually adding students into our courses. But yes, I would suggest doing maybe a small amount at a time. I know I've done up to 75 to 100 at a time. You probably won't have that many much more than that in your course. But if you do, say for instance, guidance counselors or actually resource people would actually have that larger number. So you can go in and add. I just tend to do about 100 at a time to add them in to the course. I hope that answers your question.
Miss Deirdre McCallum, you had asked about submission type. Inside Canvas, when you're inside your manually created course or any course that you have, you can change the submission type to file upload, text entry, anything and anything that you choose to at any time. So when you're working in an assignment or a module and you have that submission type, you can change your submission type as you're building each of your assignments. Is there any other questions that you may have, anybody?
Miss Linda, since you are media coordinator, yes, unless they add you to their course as a teacher, but you would technically be able to create your course and add your students in. So it'd be best to have a spreadsheet like we actually did when you guys signed up for our course. We actually go in and filter for the, like you probably would filter for a grade level. And then you'll pull those students over into that and they'll receive an invite just like you did for this course. It doesn't take long at all to actually do that. I know that I did 600 kids when we started remote learning. We did 600 kids for Red Springs Middle whenever the guidance counselor had to do some type of training with her students. So because they see all students at the middle school level. So they actually needed like 600 kids put in. So it does not take long at all, as long as you have the data that you need.
If you have nothing else, you are more than welcome to exit. Don't forget to fill out that attendance sheet. Does anyone, I'm going to go ahead and put that attendance sheet right back in here one more time for you guys so that you guys have it, but just keep in mind that you have it also under your announcements area inside Canvas. But if there's nothing more, we hope you have a great day. Try to stay dry, it's going to rain.
2 more things. Make sure you join us on Thursday, as well as this is recorded, so you can go back into your announcements and click the link later and listen to it again if you need to actually go back and refresh yourself on some things. But I hope you guys have a great day.